Yay! Let's see what you look like here. Nice to be back in Houston. You take one more try. You take a look inside. I've got nothing left to hide. Take me as I am, not what I want to be. Why we'll never know. We passed that long ago. Is and was is all we ever gonna be. But he's almost shaved down by the river. Feels a breath that makes him shiver. Takes a breath and makes him dive alone. But the dead don't get no vacation. Down in that subway station, the only break they take is to the bone. Waiting on a train to take them home. Waiting on a train, yeah, to take them home. I don't think I see much of anything for me in visions of the past or the ever after. Now is what can be, all the rest is wait and see. Prophets never hear that cosmic laughter. Boy, but gypsies and their wagons rolling never hear those death bells tolling. Never take no notice of the tone. Yeah, but I do when my pulse beats quicker. Scornful laughs and knowing snickers stop my heart, sink it like a stone. I'm waiting on a train to take me home. Just waiting on a train to take me home. Boy, this ain't what it seems. It's not the stuff of dreams. Nothing is as clear as this confusion. That's somewhat welcome news, as there is no way to lose. What isn't real is genuine illusion. Now it's all about that graveyard dancing. Some sit still, some still prancing. Some get between them in the zone, where there's nothing left to give them cover. They can't even see each other. They just step and stumble on their own. Waiting on a train to take them home. Waiting on a train. I'm waiting on a train. We all waiting on that train to take us home. Thank you. Can I get just a little more guitar in the wedge, please? Just a hair. There you go. Boy, you jumping right out of the box. This is David Goodrich, everybody. David. My longtime friend and longtime producer. Yeah, they got a preacher on the corner. He been talking about the devil, but the world's heating up on a whole other level. If you don't want to know it, don't listen, even though it's just a matter of time. We all gonna blow it through a hole in the sky. What a way to die. But you can't get to heaven till you know the score. If you don't know nothing, what'd you tell me for? I was better off dumb, sucking my thumb, trying to fit the longitude of medium. They tell you fake it till you make it, but it just don't help me none. You know it ain't no secret, you can go ahead and shout it. It's in all the papers, you can read all about it on the front page. The story of the age, to keep us all free. They're gonna put us in a cage with a fence on the border to maintain order and the minimum wage. Yeah, you know it's hard to find space for all the shit you gotta know just to keep your life together. And if you don't wanna throw out the baby with the bath, gotta make room. But if you do the math, you'll find out soon enough you gotta clean up, and that's tough. 'Cause the first thing to go is that life is fair. Second is you're gonna be a millionaire without working too hard. Lunch is free, that ain't in the cards. That's number 3. Drain your brain, baby, make a little room for me. Just drain your brain, make room for me. Yeah, drain your brain, baby, make a little room for me. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, could you turn his acoustic mic off until he takes out the diddly bow of this? Yay. All right, one more comfort song. That means the song that I'm comfortable playing at the beginning of this. I've been blind, she's been kind, yeah, she knows at times I forget to see. Through a cold, dark cloud, imaginary shroud, shadows settle over me. I once was smart, way back at the start. I offered her my body and my soul. Thought in my heart it would tear me apart, but it made me whole. Keep it simple, keep it clear. It's what we like to hear. She don't argue, she don't analyze. If I say it's so, it's so. She don't want to know if it's a metaphor for something in disguise. She let me know a long time ago. It's better to say just what I mean. Truth to tell, it can hurt like hell, but it keeps me clean. Keeps me clean. My guiding star, I don't stray far. I keep her in my mind and in my eye. I've been lost before, never anymore. I just look up at that compass in the sky. I had my fears way back in the early years, that I had locked me up and thrown away the key. Lost my mind to those ties that bind, but they set me free. Set me free. Yeah, she's fast. I know I'll never last. She's by me now, but I don't really mind. I ought to know I move so slow. My shadow often kicks me from behind. But I once was fast, back in the distant past, in a mighty demonstration of my will. I kissed her twice at the speed of light. Time stood still. I kissed her twice at the speed of light. But in time stood still. Thank you. All right, well, I managed to get a bunch of new songs written finally, so we're going to play them for you. Got to learn them sometime. You know, the older I get, the more I realize that my songs are starting to fall into some very predictable categories, you know. I recognize them. That was very nice. I recognize them coming, though, from a long ways away. Oh, yeah, here comes the quick one in E. Oh, yeah, no. This is the groove number in A. Here comes the minor key. All right, you know. But there's one bucket that is getting big, excuse me, bigger and faster than all the others, and that's the morbid ones. Oh, man, it just keeps getting there, you know. They tell you to write about what you know. I'm getting to know it, right? But I got some, I got some cheerful ones too, and I got some sentimental ones and some sad ones. But I think I'll start you off with a shot of morbidity here. Consider your high station. Think about your fame. All of your creation depending on your frame. Ain't no doubt about it. Flesh can set the tone, but when you get down to the rhythm, boy, you get right down to the bone. It's all about the bones, all about the bones, all about the bones, all about the bones. Some will make you stronger, others make you tall. I don't make no bones about it, man. They got some don't work at all. Some will make you ugly, others make you smile. It don't matter, they all clatter, yeah, when they end up on the pile. It's all about the bones, all about the bones, all about the bones, all about the bones. Grim Reaper comes a-calling. He says it's time to go. You say, okay, I'm coming, yeah, but you moving mighty slow. And you say, I don't belong here. They told me I was saved. He just points one bony finger. He says, get back in your grave. It's all about the bones, all about the bones, all about the bones, all about the bones. Now down at the graveyard, you got your handsome stone with your names and all your numbers, yeah, but you ain't nobody home. Says here lies the body, body there be none. Used to be somebody, now it ain't nothing but the bones, all about the bones, the bones, the bones, all about the bones. Bones, all about the bones, yeah, the bones, yeah, right from the beginning, it was all about the bones. Could somebody bring me a glass of water, please, from the bar? All right. Well, you know, when I was growing up in New Orleans, my next door neighbor's name was Budu. Isn't that surprising, right? Yeah. I never knew his first name because nobody ever called him anything but Budu. Even his wife. She was a wonderful woman. I spent a lot of time in her kitchen trying to teach her parakeet how to talk. I was convinced I could do it. Oh, thanks. She had an endless amount of patience. But then she would kick me out. She'd say, Chris, go on home. Boudreaux likes his supper at 6 o'clock. I gotta start cooking. That was that. He was from Thibodaux, Louisiana. Boudreaux from Thibodaux. That's the only part of this next song that's true. I made up the rest of it. But it's got some elements of the culture there. I love that, you know, the culture in the Bayou country there, and love the language and the fact that they've held on to so many aspects of the culture, the language. So there's a little bit of French in this song, but I don't think it's going to give you any problems. Out west of New Orleans, out along a slow-moving bayou, They got a fishing camp I go to see the oldest friend I know. They call him Budu. You ever go and see him, something you should know. You'll never get there walking, hear me talking. You're gonna need a battle down into the dawn. When you get there, he'll be waiting with a fiddle made by Satan and a wicked bow. He will show you how to play just as quick as you can say. That's what I want to know. Don't bring him any money, bring him beer instead. He looks a little strange, that ain't a possum on his head. That's his chapeau down into the dawn. He'll be drinking beer by noon. He'll be smoking picayune and stomping on the floor. Not right away, but pretty soon you'll be picking out a tune. He'll say, I told you so. He'll say, just listen, let me show you, get this through your head. I guarantee by Sunday you will knock them dead down at that fiddle door. Back down into the dawn. He'll say you're gonna be a star. You will drive a fancy car. You'll be spending free. But when you having all your fun and your song is number one, you better think of me. 'Cause no matter how big you get or far you go, there's still someone who knew you back when you were just a silly little crapple. From down into the dawn, down into the dawn, way down into the dawn. Simple to sing song, simple to see where we come from, baby, harder is where we go. That's the core of the treason. The promise is never the answer. Why do you need to know? There ain't a rhyme or a reason. Try to stay in the season. Can't you stay in the season? Passion is feeling in motion, compassion is standing still. This isn't justification. Hearing is letting it happen, but to listen's a work of will. Beware of cheap imitations. Thankful for small revelations. Thankful for small revelations. Just as heavy the hammer, baby, hard is the heart of stone. Harder still is the notion. Come in, tell me you love me, or just leave my heart alone. Most of the will is the motion. Most of the rest is devotion. Most of the rest is devotion. Most of the rest is devotion. Thanks. All right. Here's one my mother would have hated. I got a lot of those. Come with me, I'll guarantee you the best time you ever had. Ain't no hurry, don't you worry, I ain't evil, I'm just bad. Do you have a taste for danger? It suits me if you do. Come on, baby, don't call me stranger, I'm just like you. If you listen to your mama, you won't never have no fun. I ain't denying she's been trying, yeah, but she can't see how he's done. Those little shivers are the flavor of everything that she don't understand. Come on, baby, do yourself a favor, take my hand. If they ask you who you've been with, tell them you ain't got no clue. And if they wonder where you going, just tell them they'll know as soon as you do. Inside out is my direction. Where and why don't matter, that's for sure. Come on, baby, feel that infection. I'm your cure. 'Cause if you get no satisfaction, you can always go back home again. But if you never check out this action, you will always wonder just what might have been. Let's step out now, cool and steady. Keep your head up, don't be shy. Come on, baby, I think you're ready. So am I. I think you're ready. So am I. See, when you get stuck on songwriting, that's the easiest kind of song to write, is some kind of standard blues thing. Sometimes when I get stuck, I just tell myself, all right, and I go into my music room. I promise myself I'm not coming out until something's finished, you know. Doesn't have to be good. Just has to be finished. Which is a problem itself, you know, knowing when something's finished. But so what you do is you start with some standard little blues progression, something you've heard 1,000 times. And then you get a little melody line against it, and then you just start letting all the shit out. You know, you open your mouth and start hollering about things. And so. And you ought to be able to come up with some miserable little blues in about 3 hours. Then you have to throw it away, usually. It's just an exercise, you know. But every once in a while, you come up with one, and you go, oh, that's not so bad. You know? That's just how this song was written. Remember, you got to start with something like really common. I know you know we through. I know you know what you got to do. Knowing it and showing it is a part of it. I got a clue. It ain't what I know that made me blue. It's what I thought I knew. I lost a lot of things before you came. I know that losing, that's just part of the game. And I'm sure I'll lose more. All the same, it ain't what I lost that made me sad. It's what I thought I had. You know it is what it is. Just let it go, and it ain't what it was. That's for sure. Things will be what they'll be in spite of me. Oh, you, even though it ain't what it is, it's such a sin. It's what it might have been. Oh yeah, it is what it is. Just let it go, but it ain't what it was. Now we know things will be what they'll be in spite of me. Oh, you, even though it ain't what it is, it's such a sin. It's what it might have been. Well, what's the first line? All right. Tell me why, yeah, the moment you're gone, I can't see anymore. That sun is rising, but it just don't shine. I got no light through my door. I flip my switches, I don't turn on. Not a flicker, baby, got no juice today. Had a lighter in my carry-on, but the airline took it away. Well, it ain't just my sight that you stole. My heart's been missing a beat. My wheels are spinning, but they just don't roll. I'm standing dead on my feet. I can't go out, I can't stay home. I'm crying showers, yeah, my mind's a hurricane. I called a taxi about an hour ago. Boy, I bet you he got lost in the rain. No mail today, my phone never rings. Nothing works when you're gone. My mind is humming, but my heart won't sing. Baby, can't you please come home? I got time on my hands, I got you on my mind. I got a heart that's beating like $100 Valentine. I know you told me you'd be home by 4, but I just can't take it no more. I know you told me you'd be home by 4, but I just can't take it no more. Here's an educational song. This is the only educational song I ever wrote. This is called The Origin of Species. This is, it's just this little ditty about where we came from. It starts with the Bible in the garden and then moves on to the flood and then picks up with Charles Darwin and Watson and Crick. You know, it's the whole shooting match. It takes about 3 minutes. Well, Eve told Adam, snakes, I've had 'em, let's get out of here and go raise this family someplace out of town. They left the garden just in time with the landlord cussing right behind. They headed east and they finally settled down. One thing led to another, a bunch of sons, one killed his brother. They kicked him out with nothing but his clothes. But the human race survives, 'cause those brothers all found wives. Where they came from, there ain't nobody knows. Then came the flood, go figure, just like New Orleans, only bigger. No one who could not swim would make it through. All the lucky ones were on the boat. Think circus and just make it float and then hope nobody pulls the plug on you. How they fed that crowd is a mystery. It ain't down in the history, but it's a cinch they did not live on cakes and jam. Lions don't eat cabbage, and in spite of that old adage, you will never see one lie down with a lamb. Well, you might. The lamb doesn't get much sleep. Charles Darwin looked so far into the way things are, he caught a glimpse of God's unfolding plan. God said, I'll make some DNA, they'll use it any way they want, from paramecium right up to man. They'll have sex, they'll mix up sections of their code and have mutations. The whole thing works like clockwork over time. I'll just sit back in the shade while everyone gets laid. That's what I call intelligent design. Yeah, you and your cat named Felix, you both wrapped up in that double helix. It's what we call intelligent design. Well, I told you I had some sweet ones amongst the new ones, so here's one for you. Goody started me on this one. He says, I got this little guitar bit that sounds very Smither-esque to me. So I said, well, play it, you know. So he did. And I said, oh, I like that. I do like that, you know. So I sat down and worked it out with him. And once I had it down, he says, he points at me, he says, all right, now go on and write something. I was having trouble writing at that point. He looked at me again. He says, "Go on." He says, "You can do it. I still believe in you." So here's the song. It's called "Still Believe in You." When the sun goes down, and I wonder, was it ever rising? When the moonlight falls on some never to be seen horizon, my heart sinks again. My will bend to the thought that I'm done before I've really begun. There's just one thing keeps me kicking this drum. One thing lets me see it through. One thing I can hold like emotional gold. I still believe in you. There's some who live who will take credit for their own survival. Some will die, they'll take credit for their own revival. They live on their own, they die all alone. They think they carry the load. They think that nothing is old. I once believed that I could live that way. I tried it, it isn't true. I will not grow old without a hand to hold. I still believe in you, still believe in you. There are things I believe that I could not begin to prove. I believe in mountains that a little bit of faith will move. I can't say how I know, just believe it so. It's a thing that I feel. I believe it's real. There's one thing I know that doesn't always show. I think you know it too. As long as I believe that you believe in me, I will believe in you, still believe in you. it's just hard not to do. My thinking is the measure of how much I need a clue. I'm still flying blind, hoping I might find a way to stop my thinking and open up my mind. Boy, I don't see too clearly. I wish you'd show me how. Seeing is believing. I believe I need it now. It comes as no surprise. I can't analyze my usual refusal to open up my eyes. My feelings hurt me plenty. Not feeling hurts me more. Feelings got me kneeling down, wounded to the core. Not feeling's got its charms. You'll find out who it harms when your lover soon discovers you can't open up your arms. It's like being in prison. You lock yourself inside. Limited perspective, even with eyes open wide. But I can't walk no more through scenes I've seen before. Won't you come to me, bring a key, open up the door. It's just love, it's puzzle, that there is no doubt. Can't do nothing with it, sure can't do without. Can't learn your part, you don't know where to start till you quit all your questions. Open up your heart. One small suggestion, quit your questions. Open up your heart. I didn't think I was going to remember that lick. Oh, let me see. Well, you know, sometimes, usually, in fact, not sometimes, usually when I write a song, I have no idea what it's about until it's about half finished. It's something that I don't pay too much attention to what's going on because you don't want to scare it off, you know. It's a funny relationship. I've often said that writing songs is like having a conversation with a part of your brain that you're not really on speaking terms with. And so you sort of, it's a tentative relationship. But usually in the middle of the song, it's like it opens up like a book, you know, and you go, oh, I see what he's driving at, you know. Then you can go to work on it in a sort of rational way. But here's a song for you that it was basically finished, and I had no idea what it was about. You know, so I'm sitting there looking at, you know, are you familiar with the concept of the bardo? Anybody? The bardo is a liminal, foggy kind of place in Eastern traditions, like Tibetan Buddhism. It's the space between death and rebirth, where everything sort of gets disorganized and swirled around and then put back together again, and then we start the whole cycle all over again. But that foggy place is called the bardo. And a few years ago, George Saunders wrote an experimental novel called Lincoln in the Bardo. And that's one spooky book. You should, but it's worth it. You know, it's quite something. So I'm sitting here looking at these lyrics, and I thought to myself, okay, I'll just call this Smither in the Bardo, you know, and be done with it. But as soon as I had that thought, I realized, okay, oh, that's what it is. It's the Bardo, you know. So once I had that in mind, then I could sort of clean it up and turn it into something presentable. So in the Bardo. Any any day now, at the ending of the long haul, just before the long fall down, I will listen for the warning. Evening will be morning before long. Deep into the shadows, everything we had goes down. Into sublimation, the spinning spool will be unwound. It's on the way now. No answers to the questions, no sense of direction home. Just a subtle indication, a whispered invitation to let go. Nothing to hold on to, nothing here belongs to you. Nothing here to care for, nothing here will care for you. It's hard to say now. The forms are disappearing, out of sight and out of hearing, out of mind. Mind no longer minded. Vision ever blind, but ever old. This is how it happens. No one's doing this to you. All the something goes to nothing. The nothing goes to something new. Another day now, just like the ones preceding, ever hopeful that it's leading to an end. But the end is the beginning, never losing, never winning, just again and again and again. So Goody's been asking me for years to do a Tom Petty song. He kept telling me. I don't know why I resisted it. I love Tom Petty, you know. I just never got around to doing any of his songs. Goody would say, Chris, Tom Petty's just you with a band, you know. But then this last project, he said, go listen to the Wildflowers album, go listen to Time to Move On. And so I did listen to that song. I always take his suggestions. I just never, sometimes I don't act on them, so I'm sitting there, and I listened to it once, and then I listened to it twice, and after the third time, I said, man, I should have written this song. Yeah. Time to move on, time to get going. What lies ahead, I got no way of knowing. Under my feet, baby, grass is growing. It's time to move on, yeah, let's get going. Broken skyline, moving through the airport. She's an honest defector, conscientious objector, now her own protector. Broken skyline, which way to Loveland? Which way to something better? Which way to forgiveness? Which way do I go? Time to move on, time to get going. What lies ahead, I got no way of knowing. Under my feet, baby, grass is growing. Time to move on, yeah, let's get going. Sometime later, getting the words wrong, wasting the meaning, losing the rhyme. Nauseous adrenaline, like breaking up a dog fight, like a deer in the headlights, frozen in real time. I'm losing my mind. Time to move on, time to get going. What lies ahead, I got no way of knowing. Under my feet, baby, grass is growing. Time to move on, yeah, let's get going. Moving on, let's get going. Gotta move on, yeah, yeah. Gotta get going. I've been going, now I'm already gone. Well, you know, sometimes talking about writing, sometimes songs just take off on a train of thought, and you don't realize it, but it's a train of thought that you've been building over a long time. And so here's one that started when I was about 7. See, when I was 7 years old, nobody had ever taught me anything yet about, you know, anything formal about good and evil or God and the devil or any of that. I wasn't raised religiously at all. I was raised by university people, professors. Professors tend to let their children just float in an intellectual pool, until something bites them, and then they try to explain it. It's one of those things. So, but my dad taught at Tulane, and so we were living in New Orleans, and when I was about 7, they bought a house, and we moved out of university housing, and into a real neighborhood, and I was trying to make friends in the neighborhood, and I was the only kid in the neighborhood that went to public school. All the other kids went to parochial schools, the parish schools. So when you're trying to make friends, we're talking about the early 50s now, So back then, the first thing that a Catholic kid in New Orleans would say was, "What religion are you?" And I said, "I don't know." And they said, "No, come on. What church were you baptized in?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "I'll find out." It was a Saturday, so I ran in the house, and my dad was working in his study, and I asked him, I said, "Daddy, what church was I baptized in?" And he was surprised. He looked up and he says, "You've never been baptized." And I said, "Okay." So I went back out and I said, "I've never been baptized." And they all went, it's like they were scared of me at first, but it didn't last. They started letting me know exactly what was going to happen to me. "You're going to hell," and then they started chanting, "You're going to hell." I said, "What's hell?" So they told me all about it, having been well instructed by the sisters, in all the most terrible detail. And so I listened for a while, and I thought, man, this sounds pretty bad. Then I thought, well, this can't be right. So I ran back in the house, and I stuck my head back in my dad's study, and I said, "Daddy, am I going to hell?" And he didn't even look up. He said, "It would not surprise me." Then he sees that I look a little stricken, so he says, "What's going on?" And I told him, I said, "The guys tell me I'm going to hell because I've never been baptized." And he looked up and he says, "Well," he says, "that's just opinion." So that sounded dismissive to me. So I went back out and I said, "My dad says that's just opinion." They didn't know what opinion was either. So that got me thinking about, but that's where I started thinking about good and evil and God and the devil, and how could that be, And maybe they were just two sides of the same thing, or maybe they were separate things fighting it out in the universe. And that's all by way of trying to get out of responsibility for this song. The Lord was feeling lonesome, the Lord is down, he's singing the blues. Nobody calls on me, prayers are far between and few. And if it wasn't for the devil, there wouldn't be a lot to do. Speaking of the devil, you got to give the devil his due. He's down in the details, quoting scripture from his point of view. He says the Lord knows he needs me, but he don't want to believe it's true. He thinks he doesn't know me, 'cause he don't look at the back of his head. Yeah, but my face is in a pillow when he's lying on his back in bed. And when he's singing beat the devil, he's beating on himself instead. It all started in the garden when he opened with a single pair. He said, go forth and multiply. Now everybody wants to share. We get no peace on earth till he goes knocking and there's nobody there. I'm just trying to keep him busy so he don't give up and blow us away. So if they ask why you a sinner and you don't know what to say, just say the devil made me do it to save the world for one more day. Yeah, the devil made me do it to save the world for one more day. Well, here's one. I've been playing this one for a long time. This is this is a song with a real title, but nobody ever calls it that. They just say, play that fruit and vegetable song. Play the okra song. If you're not familiar with the tune, briefly, I just explained that the chorus to this song comes from the street song of the fruit and vegetable man that used to come down the street that I grew up on in New Orleans. And so I'll tell you a short story about this song. Once I was on vacation in Hawaii. I wasn't working. I was just relaxing and having fun. And I drove out to a beach. I was on the island of Kauai. And I was on Kauai, and I went out to a beach one day, and as I was coming back to the house that my wife and I had rented, I saw this fruit stand. It was just a thatched roof, up on poles. It was maybe 3 times the size of the stage, with all this glorious-looking tropical fruit in it. So I thought, man, I got to get me some of that. So I pulled in, and I walked into it, and there was a kid sitting in there on a wooden box playing the guitar, and he was singing this song. I was dumbfounded, I just stood there and listened to him, and when he finished it, I told him, I said, man, I cannot begin to tell you what a thrill it is to walk in here and hear you singing my song. And he said, your song? I said, yes, I wrote that song. And he said, oh, I don't think so. I don't know much, but when I knew less, and I was heartbroken for the first time. I was drowning in my tears, and I went looking for a lifeline. I was just trying to find some comfort, a simple tender touch, searching for some little cure that would not cost too much. And I could hear that produce wagon on the street. I could hear that farmer singing as I cried myself to sleep. I got bananas, watermelon, peaches by the pound. Sweet corn, Merleton, more better than in town. I got okra, enough to choke your beans of every kind. And if hungry is what's eating you, I'll sell you a piece of mind. But this ain't what you came to hear me say. And I hate to disappoint you, but I got no love today. I got no love today. I got no love today. Hey, no love today. I could not love to save myself from lonesome desperation. Everything I thought was love was worthless imitation. And my concept of commitment was to take all you could give. I thought the cheapest thrills I loved were teaching me to live. But nothing seemed to last or see me through. Nothing but that little song I still sing for you. I got banana, watermelon, peaches by the pound. Sweet corn, Merleton, more better than in town. I got okra, enough to choke your beans of every kind. If hungry is what's eating you, I'll sell you a piece of mind. But this ain't what you came to hear me say. I hate to disappoint you, got no love today. I got no love today. No love today. Hey, no love today. No love today, none tomorrow, not now, not forever. You can't see what comes for free. I think you much too clever. For your own good, I'll tell you what's right before your eyes. Intelligence is no defense against what this implies. In the end, no one will sell you what you need. You can't buy it off the shelf. You got to grow it from the seed. 'Cause I got banana, watermelon, peaches by the pound. Sweet corn, Merleton, more better than in town. I got okra, enough to choke your beans of every kind. If hungry is what's eating you, I'll sell you a piece of mind. But this ain't what you came to hear me say. And I hate to disappoint you, but I'm gonna disappoint you. I got no love today. I got no love today. I got no love today. No love today. Fresh out. Here's one for you by Eliza Gilkison. We got any Eliza Gilkison fans? I'm a pretty big fan of hers myself. An altogether admirable woman, I gotta tell you. And a wonderful songwriter. She intimidates me. You know how it is, somebody that, you find enormously attractive, and you want to be around them, but you're afraid to say anything because you're afraid to say something stupid. But we've managed to become pretty good friends in spite of the fact that she makes me feel like a boy in short pants sometimes. This is her song, and it's called The Calm Before the Storm. Easy does it, darling. Let the good times roll. Many a mile to go before you close your eyes. Rest your weary soul. Savor all the laughter outside the dark clouds form. No one knows what will come after here tonight in the calm before the storm. And I can't dance this one without you. Stay inside here where it's warm. Gather all your friends about you here tonight in the calm before the storm. And even when your winds will fail you, you're lost out on uncharted seas. The compass of your heart won't fail you now. It was made for times like these. So easy does it, darling. Let your hair down till the morn. Many loved ones are together here tonight in the calm before the storm. In the calm before the storm. All right. Well, hey, thanks for coming out tonight. It's always good to see you again. There's CDs for sale in the back if you're interested in that kind of thing. I understand they make wonderful coasters while you listen to the streaming version. But no, they're back there, and you don't have to buy a CD. Just drop by and say hi. I'll be back there. Goody's got a CD for sale back there too. Thanks again to David Goodrich. All right, one more for you. Here we go. If I were young again, I'd pay attention to that little known dimension, the taste of endless time. It's just like water, yeah, and it runs right through our fingers. The flavor of it lingers like a rich red wine. And in those days we were single, and we lived them one by one. Now we hardly see them, they don't walk, they run. But I got plenty left I've set my sight on. Don't wait up, leave the light on, I'll be home soon. I've never seen my life in such a hurry, but if I stop to worry, I get left behind. It's just a party, but you don't get invitations, and there's just one destination, you better be on time. For years we rhymed in couplets, sang them two by two. Now we hardly rhyme at all, but here's a few. And if they hurt, there's bullets left to bite on. Don't wait up, leave the light on, I'll be home soon. That drummer in my head needs inspiration. There's a lack of syncopation, and it holds me to a line. It's just so hard to leave these cages that we think in. By stages we just sink into a slow decline. For years we lived in waltz time, danced at 3 by 3. Now it's hard to dance, but if you stick with me, we've got what we need to spend the night on. Don't wait up, leave the light on, I'll be home soon. These races that we've run were not for glory, no moral to the story. We run for peace of mind, but the race we're running now is never ending. Space and time are bending, and there's no finish line. I will live to be 100. I was born in 44, 20 more to go. I ain't keeping score. I've been left for dead before, but I still fight on. Don't wait up, leave the light on, I'll be home soon. Yes, I've been left for dead before, but I still fight on. Don't wait up, leave the light on, I'll be home soon. Thank you, folks. Want one more? Bum 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 In the spring, on a sunny day, my baby left me, said she's going to stay. Oh, but she's gone, I don't worry. Oh, I'm sitting on top of the world. She called me up from El Paso and said, come back now, Daddy. She said, I need you so. Oh, but she's gone. Yeah, I don't worry. Oh, I'm sitting on top of the world. Don't you come running, holding out your hand. I'll find me a woman, just like you found a man. Oh, now you're gone, I don't worry. Sitting on top of the world. If you didn't want my peaches, why'd you shake my tree? You get out of my orchard, you let my peaches be. Yeah, 'cause you're gone. Oh, I don't worry. Sitting on top of the world. Yeah, now you're gone. And I don't worry, just sitting on top of the world. Thanks, folks.